Last month, the whole of America was rocked when the CEO of a healthcare company was murdered. The suspect? A man with a charming smile and a bold pair of eyebrows. When the suspect's identity was revealed, the internet scrambled to find out way more details about him. But there was one specific detail they were obsessed with.
His past?
No.
His motive?
No. His face card. They thought he was hot. Let's talk about it. Hello friends, Happy New Year! Hope you are keeping well and any fatigue, pain, slowness symptoms are being kept at bay. It's pretty cold where I'm in the UK right now, so I'm considerably in pain. But you know, we gotta move, we gotta make content, we gotta ramble for the camera, because I know y'all love me. This is going to be a super quick one though, so I just had to jump in on this topic. So get comfy, get a nice hot drink, let's talk. Now, I mean, if you don't know about any of this stuff, I salute you because you really are living your best Patrick Star life. This man has taken the internet by storm. But let's roll it back. You know I got to tell the full story. In the early hours of December 4th, Brian Thompson, CEO of Scam American insurance company United Health Group, was approached by a masked shooter across the street from a Hilton in New York. The gunman shot him, unloading the round, and obviously killed him. The shooter then fled on a bike and into Central Park, where after that he got a taxi. When the news broke online, there were a couple of distinct voices. A group mourning the death of a man, dad, son, and a group celebrating the death of the man who was basically like leading in the face of a company that had led to the suffering of thousands, maybe even millions of people. And then, of course, there was a mix of also people just desperate to find out who this killer was. A couple of days later, the NYPD released a photo of the suspect in the back of a taxi. As you can see, it's not really much. He has a mask on, so you can only see the top half of his face. And then a bit later, an image of the suspect giving a charming smile to some... He does that a lot. Giving a charming smile to someone behind the till in a Starbucks was released. And thus the internet went wild. Now, obviously, both the pictures didn't really... they weren't like good pictures. They weren't like good like mugshot or Facebook profile picture material. Am I showing my age by saying Facebook? I don't know. I just feel like you lot on Instagram don't really like have a proper picture of your face for your Instagram picture like we used to in Facebook. We would be all like, or it'd be a candid one of us talking like, I don't know when I talk. Wait, or a mirror one. Oh my God, do you remember the mirror selfies with the digital cameras? I don't know how old my viewers are. I hope you're my age. With the flash on. Sorry, sidetracked. Anyways, the internet went wild with us, given the crumbs that they had to go on. People were running to find out if the full face matched up to the attractiveness, that was not mine, of the window view they got from the pictures. And on December 9th, the suspect walked into a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. Girl, the boycott, like 2 places. Come on. Where a person that worked there recognized him and she called the police. Snitch. And later that day, he was arrested. Now, the police announced his arrest and that he was a suspect in the murder of Brian Thompson, and they posted his mugshot online. And can I point out, just at this point, sidebar, that they did multiple shoots of him. I'm going to see how many I can post here, but I'm sure there was like 5. Because like, look at these. And do they do this with every criminal? Like over there in America, do police do this with every criminal? Was the cop in love with him? I needed like excuses to get white man material, because like, why were there so many pictures over like a couple of days as well? I kept seeing like these Twitter pages like sharing NYPD shares another photo of Luigi Mangione, and I was like, this has got to be a joke. But I was like, no, these are actual like police mugshots. Like, anyways, I don't understand. Yeah, this was when the true madness began, because now people finally had a face and a name. Now, the people who weren't super thirsty did like a massive dig on his life and grabbed pieces of information about him that would be relevant for the case. Obviously, people wanted to just find out who he was, what his potential motive could be, and just more about him. Had he done anything else? Not like this, obviously, but like, now his Twitter header, look at this, it's seemingly innocuous, right? A photo of Pokemon Breloom, I love him, Matt Punch, Spore, let me not get started. An x-ray, and a picture of himself, looking all messy. Harmless, right? Well, let me break that shit down for you. Okay, so Breloom is a Pokemon from Pokemon Generation 3, and his number in the Pokedex, aka like the number in the order he appears in, is 286. People quickly found this, and then they were scrambling around to find any meaning behind the number 286. And well, let me just say the search delivered. First is a quote from the Bible, Proverbs 28:6. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I'm not a Bible person. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than he who is crooked, though he be rich. You could say, oh, Femi, that's a coincidence. You know, all the Proverbs are important. Right? But listen to this. Second, insurance code 286. Denial code 286 is used when the appeal time limits for a claim have not been met. This means that the healthcare provider or the billing entity did not submit an appeal within the specified time frame after receiving a denial for a claim. As a result, the claim is denied based on the failure to meet the required appeal deadline. Basically, when a healthcare claim is rejected for not meeting the guidelines for an appeal. In essence, being told that your health insurance provider won't pay for your treatment, your hospital stay, your medication, etc., because maybe you didn't submit within a certain time frame, or be really accurate with filling in a bloody form. Because not like you have any other stresses to deal with, right? Like, you know, maybe trying to keep your life together, trying to afford rent while you're sick, trying not to die, you know. So God forbid you don't fill the form in, or you just take a bit because you're so ill you can't fill in a form. You're not getting that claim. Love America. The icing on the cake though is that bro was arrested 286 miles from the crime scene. Did he orchestrate all of this? It's mad. He left all of these breadcrumbs which demonstrate the motive. The impetus, his back injury. Now, the killer, Luigi Mangione, was from a pretty wealthy family and was a very promising kid. He was a high school valedictorian, an Ivy League graduate, and really liked to keep in shape. I mean, look at the muscles. Muscles are muscles, right? But still, I'm like, fair enough. Look at the effort it takes. I don't understand it, but I know it's a lot. So good on him. Though he was pretty active online on like Twitter, Instagram, and probably even Facebook. One summer his post just stopped. And this caused a lot of his friends to reach out and check in and see how he was doing, but most of them never heard back. He'd suffered from, oh my God, I can't pronounce this, spondylolisthesis, which is basically when one of the vertebrae, you know, the disc in your spine is kind of dislodged or moved. It slips forward. He dealt with pain from this all his life, but I'm assuming from looking at the content and how his life was, it obviously didn't affect him as terribly as it could have, seeing as, you know, he was able to build that crazy physique. However, in 2022, a surfing accident flipped all of this upside down. The accident made the pain he suffered from so bad that he was bedbound for a week. He eventually underwent back surgery, which was obviously meant to alleviate this pain and make things better, but it only made things worse. He became a recluse, which is when a lot of his friends just didn't hear from him. And his landlord has also been stated to say, like, now that this affected his sex life, which I'm like, so many questions. Why are you sharing this? How did you find out? Were you listening through the walls? I would not put that past the landlord. I will just jump in and say, as someone who became significantly more chronically ill in my 20s, this shit really rocks you. Having life goals, plans, things you're already like really enjoying, building, partaking in, all shattered, destroyed, obliterated, and on top of that, dealing with chronic pain itself. And then the cherry on top, most of your peers just aren't going to understand what you're going through, or even make any effort to understand. Words can't even describe how rough it is. Like, I still get shaken thinking about like the year I had when my health got way worse, and just how shit everyone was and everything was and everything. So like, definitely have my empathy. But as much as I can, you know, empathize, I also acknowledge it's a completely different system in the US, because here healthcare is free. I'm in the UK, and I'm definitely not being like, oh, we're amazing or whatever, but it's just the state of the fact of the matter is, for the most part, when I was trying to get treatment and taking care of, yes, doctors could be shit, there's institutional racism, so many other things, but I didn't have to worry about the effect of it on my bank, on my family's bank account. Do you know what I mean? Whereas for every step of the way for this guy, like Luigi, he was being charged for it. Like, charge money for something that should be free in any decent society. You just imagine going for an appointment where you need help, and they're just like, okay, we're going to refer you on your way out, tap your card on a credit card machine, because that's $2,000, please. That shit can surely radicalize you. It's fucked. It's profit over, I forgot what it's called. These health insurance companies do just, obviously they're set up for profit. Like, it's pure capitalism. It's not to help you, it's to make money off people suffering. But anyways, a lot of you on Twitter weren't focused on that, were ya? Dirty pigs. Let me just show you guys some of the tweets that I saw. So you can see how nasty these people are. Luigi Maglione lookalike contest. Saturday night in my room. If Luigi Maglione... Why can't you spell? Fucking idiots. If Luigi Maglione is sent to prison for his heroic shooting of that evil blood-sucking scumbag, may I be the first to volunteer for conjugal visits? I've never met him, but out of respect for what he's done and also for the way he looks, he can conjugate me anytime. Luigi Maglione, our children would have beautiful curls and all the spaghetti they could eat. Luigi Mangione is an Ivy League Italian frat boy who's a huge bookworm, loves reading comic and Pokemon, and does weightlifting. That man is literally handmade for me, and they just put him behind bars. The worst part, searching through these tweets to read some of them to you, was the filth I saw. Tell me how I scrolled and I saw a video of someone nutting over a picture of him because it was a follower request. I'm not a church goer, but I think I need to go to church over the stuff I saw, and whoever posted that video, you need church too. You, Jesus! I'm sending you my therapy bill. So much of the important context as to why Luigi chose to take this action has been buried by people just reducing this to how he looks. It's insane, and I really want to contrast this to how the internet reacted to Trump's attempted assassin, Thomas Crooks, from a few months ago. Right? Now, I know this isn't a complete parallel because it's obviously like the survivors are flipped, where Trump survived, Thomas Crooks didn't. Whereas the assailant survived with Luigi and, you know, the victim didn't. But still, once the internet got a whiff of Thomas Crooks' face, boy, was it the drag of all drags. Not only did everybody go for his appearance and conflate their stereotype of what he looked like to what they imagined he would have been like, and to be fair, I guess his activity kind of proved them right. But they really didn't focus on the scope of what he tried to do. An attempted assassination on the President of the United States? Now that's fucking big, regardless of how you view it. This man made a bold choice to try and take out one of the most powerful people in the world. Gave himself a mission, and he stuck to it. Either way, the fact that this guy almost took out the president, the whole president of the United States at the age of 20 is really, really crazy. It says a lot, which I'm not going to delve into, but I feel like it's just the craziness of that moment again got reduced to the fact that so many people were just memeing this guy because of what he looked like. You know, the significance that he got to a point where he decided this is what he had to do, and most probably knew what the consequences would be for himself. I'm sure he had every understanding that he wasn't going to walk away from that no matter what happened. Can you fucking deep that? Can you just deep what state you'd have to be in to decide that, or how you'd have to feel about the world or whatever to do that, to choose that? And now I'm not saying that people being in lust for Luigi hasn't detracted from the scope of what he's done either, because I think honestly some of it has added to it, because people were quickly forming this image of this beautiful, thick eyebrowed, virtuous man. His charismatic smile denoting the fact that he was pure of heart and dedicated to justice. And because after all, pretty people are always good, right? And I know there's probably people that if they saw this go, oh Femi, you're reading too much into that. First of all, your mum. I don't know where you are in your journey and where you're meeting me from, but like, number one, if you don't believe pretty privilege is real, number one, you're stupid. Number two, you're stupid. Number three, your mum and dad's an idiot for making you. Number four, have you seen the world? I only need to direct you to the case of every missing blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl or woman and how the general populace reacts to it to know that people will assign virtue, innocence, all good qualities to people that they or society says are like pretty or good looking or has certain physical qualities. Like it's a link there. Now, obviously, as Luigi's case unfolds, he does have a bit of a cult following. And now that's a mix of a lot of things. There are people that just want to see how this all unfolds and the effects this landmark murder will have. Some of which are already rippling across the US, like a lot of companies hiding, you know, the names of their important people, including CEOs from their websites now. There are obviously some just wanting him to face justice for murdering an innocent person. Some people wanting this to truly change things and be like an impetus or a match that lights a revolution that will eventually result in a fairer healthcare system in the US. But let's also call a spade a spade. A lot of people are following because they have unchristian fantasies about the man. And I think this is something really important to focus on here, because this is bringing attention to what's going on at the end of the day. The reality is that there are more eyes on what's unfolding because people find him attractive. And can we not just like stop to look at the insanity of that? I really, really believe that if Thomas Crooks had survived, there would not be this amount of people in his corner in his way. Even the people celebrating what Luigi did would enjoy something similar happen to Trump. I'm just saying. Now, I remember it dropping that among the last websites Crooks had visited in the days or like day leading up to his attempted assassination of Trump were porn websites. I saw a tweet among many joking about the madness of like building up to assassinate the president by beating one out. And there are a lot of jokes about it, which I get. But can you imagine how different the response would be if they found that out about Luigi? I bet people would have been so bloody thirsty and dying to know what sort of content he consumed, you know, to see if it matched what they look like. Blondes? Big titties? Twunks? Bondage? Like, I know the twinks especially would be going wild. And there would be a chunk of people that would definitely see it in a positive light somehow. It's crazy. But anyways, like I said, this was just a little quick one today. I'm really intrigued to see how this case will go, as he's pled not guilty for, I think, everything, all 3 cases against him, because they had terrorism, murder, first-class murder, second-class murder, right? He's pled not guilty for everything, as of me writing this. I've seen memes saying, now we're going to see if Italians are actually white. And they did make me chuckle, I can't lie. I'm mostly curious to see what sentence he'll get and basically how much his privilege will afford him, because obviously he's white, but he's also from a crazy wealthy family. And Lord, we know that wealthy people have got enough men for a lot of things, a lot of crimes, especially, you know, the wealthy white ones. So obviously we know that poor black people spend a lifetime in prison for doing way less than this guy did. But anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and I hope that 2025 is gentle and kind to all of you. I'm obviously aiming to continue posting. I'd like to post more than I did last year, but obviously health and life get in the way, so I will be happy with posting the same amount I did last year. You see, it's been like a year since I started this channel. I've really been enjoying like researching, making this content, bringing it to you, interacting with you all so far. So for people who've been with me for a few months, thank you so much for joining, staying and supporting. And to people who are new here, welcome. Whether you just choose to watch this video or whether you choose to stay and watch a few more, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn something. Hope my content will make you think about stuff. I think ultimately that's what I want, is for people to take what I say away and consider what I've said, especially if my viewpoint is a bit different, or if I said something that you haven't thought of before. Just take some time and marinate on it and think about it. Much love, and I'll be back soon. Have a good rest of your day, your week, whatever. Bye.